Hi, folks, and welcome to week 3 of the class. We're moving quite along now and starting to look at some of the transition from traditional marketing into social media marketing. And this week we kind of jumped straight up to Web 3.0. I mentioned it in my announcement about Web 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. 3.0 is where companies actually start engaging their customers. They start listening to them and they start responding to them using social media. Now, one of the interesting things, if you read a lot of the blogs and the social media how-tos out there that are available on the internet, many of them will always tell you at some point, don't use social media to sell your product or your services. But the question is, if you're not going to sell your product and services, then what good does it do you? Why are you spending the time to do it? Because time is a resource just like money. Well, what you're trying to do with social media is create relationships. That's the key for businesses. As individuals, we have relationships, but as businesses, we want to create relationships with our customers. Now, we've done that in the past by having salesmen like me who go out and spend 30 years calling on people and creating relationships. You know you're successful when people call you and say, hey, I've got a project. I don't have a clue as to what I want, so help me, give me some ideas. I also have the opportunity with many of my customers. They say, hey, when you're in town working this week, why don't you just stay at our house? We've got an extra bedroom. Come in, stay. We'll have you for dinner. We'll talk. So that's when you know that you've created relationships with people and that it goes beyond just selling them a product or a service. So we're talking about social media, and one of the ways we create relationships is listening. And that's what the module is all about this week. So you've got a couple of things. You've got the discussion question about whether or not you would respond to customers and all of their issues. You've got the social media listening tools for the week 3 assignment. This is a great assignment. There are tons of software programs and apps and platforms and everything else out there that will help you monitor your social media. It will do things like capture the number of tweets that people make. Familiar with hashtags? It'll track those for you. It'll track social mentions, which is the number of times your company name gets mentioned in social media platforms. So there's all these tools out there that companies can use to track their social media efforts, which gets down to a 3-little term acronym called ROI, return on investment. If we're going to spend the money and take the time, which are the 2 resources to do social media, what are we getting back in return? And that's what the assignment is all about. Use the Charter College Library or another search engine, and you know what that is, and research social media listing tools. Pick a tool, pick 3 companies, and look at their social media listening efforts. Make sure that you do all your references. And then finally, for your homework, you've got some Twitter scenarios as if you were working for United Airlines for you to respond to. So I want to see some good, thoughtful responses to these. I'm going to grade them on the content of your response, not just, oh yeah, good idea, thanks for writing. Okay? I want to know why it was a good idea in 140 characters or less. Right? That's going to be your assignment for this week. So have a great week. Let's get into listening, and I'm ready to listen to you. Give me a shout if you need anything. Thanks. Bye.